Hello guys, this is Insane Dragon HD. Oh my god. Hello guys, this is Mega Ampharos HD. Sorry for the fail there. And what this is this is a top 10 favorite Pokemon, not a top 10 favorite Pokemon, but basically a Pokemon of the Week kind of thing, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And because Pokemon of the Week sounds interesting and it's pretty cool, man. Because I don't know which Pokemon I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Pokemon every week. Because I am going to try to be more active on YouTube, because I am kind of lazy with YouTube, and there's many things like that, mainly because I'm really lazy with YouTube, and I want to actually contribute more, because I'm on fire. I don't really know what I'm saying. I'm not very good at being enthusiastic on YouTube, so sorry about that. What now? I have it on the Bulbapedia page, because this is going to be the Pokemon I'm going to be talking about. And basically, since I don't feel like having to go in and do all this editing just to make a 10-minute video, I'm just going to talk about it on the page itself and use it as a reference, and then give it a type analysis and talk about how it is good competitively, stuff like that. So before I start, I'm going to give a shout out to a user called Imanu12345 I think that's his name. Sorry if I got it wrong. I'll leave it in the description so you can check him out, because he makes awesome content and does pretty well at it as well. So now I will get into Lugia. So why did I choose Lugia for Pokemon of the Week? One, because I love Lugia, and I've been a fan of Lugia ever since I first saw the movie, and that's always been why I like Lugia so much. Of course, it's not my favorite Pokemon, although it's kind of funny. I thought it was psychic. I thought it was water flying for the longest time, because it comes from the sea, and that's what you would think, is that it's water flying, but no, it's psychic flying. So, Lugia is one of the Johto legendaries. It is basically the duo that resides along with Ho-Oh, and it is what basically it was Silver version's mascot. Gold version's mascot was Ho-Oh, and basically, and then Crystal's was Suicune, which I might get the Suicune later. Now, as you can see on the thing, Pokemon Lugia is normally regarded as a guardian of the seas, which is where it resides, which is in the deep sea, and it's obviously given a majestic appearance, majestic kind of bird-like appearance because of that. I'm sure. I think that's why, at least. And it's also on the box art of it's also the mascot of Pokemon Silver. It does appear on Pokemon Soul Silver. No, I'm not reading this off the thing, for those of you who think I'm getting it. And it appeared in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness as basically a kind of a Shadow Lugia, which was the main part of it was in the main game, and I think it was required that you needed to purify every Shadow Pokemon in the game, and then you could purify Shadow Lugia and get Lugia, which is also the property of the Power Rangers in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, which, yes, I'm talking about Cypher. And Cypher is very stupid, for those of you who know, because they look like Power Rangers. So Lugia gets, it is obviously the diving Pokemon, as you can see by the thing. Oh, great, stupid Bulbapedia pop-ups. It gets Pressure and Multi-Scale as an ability. Pressure is a good ability. Generic, though, it is pretty good, because it forces your opponent to use two. Be careful with their moves, because, for instance, if they're using like Fire Blast, they can only use it 3 times, because it will take 2 of their PP points or power points. And those of you who are perverts, please don't watch this video, because I know what you got out of that. Multi-scale is a very good ability as well because it does reduce damage from super effective attacks at full health, which Lugia it helps in that it really helps because Lugia is already a massive tank and can tank hits for days pretty much. It's been tanking hits since Gen 2. And and obviously multi-scale, in my opinion, it's very good on Lugia, but it's better on Pokemon like Dragonite because Dragonite can take Ice Beams, which it couldn't normally take before Gen 5. It's just my opinion. It is obviously 17 feet and 1 inches in Imperial standards, and it is 5.2 meters metric system. It weighs a lot, which is 476 pounds, and 216 kilograms for those of you who live in places that aren't the U.S., which is probably a lot of you, some of you watching this video, because I know you're not from the U.S. Honestly, if you're talking about Lugia's, it's genderless, although I will give it a gender because I honestly really don't want to call something an it. It sounds weird. Its egg group is an undiscovered group because it can't breed, and basically what that is, basically meaning Lugia can't breed is it because it's genderless. Like genderless Pokemon can't breed unless you're Metang, which I think can breed with a Ditto. I'm not really sure. But looking at Lugia's design, as I said, it has a majestic appearance. It's got those weird blue things that you can see by the picture there, and that's what it's explaining. It it does kind of look. It looks like a bird to me, like a majestic dragon type bird, like a dragon bird. And honestly, Lugia is pretty cool for that. Got a really good design. I really like it for that reason. Also, I've been upset. I've been pretty much into it ever since the Pokemon movie, Pokemon 2000, which was years ago, by the way. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. And honestly, in the anime, it did have some appearances which were basically Pokemon 2000, as you can see, and it had a appearance in Johto where it was like apparently again his child, which was obviously nicknamed Silver to reference the game, and because honestly its name was Silver and it was a baby Lugia, which undiscoveredly, even though Lugia does not have a gender, supposedly there is more than one Lugia out there, kind of like Latios and Latias. I used to think there was one or two of them, and then in the anime they showed up more than once, which Latios kissed Ash, which honestly is kind of stupid because I'm pretty sure Ash is gonna be like, if Latias appears in their movie, Ash is gonna be like Latias and completely forget who Latias is. So you have minor appearances. You have it in the Pokemon Adventures manga, which I've never really read. Tale of Pikachu, never read that either. In the TCG, it is pretty good. I've never really played TCG that much, but from my experience, I used to collect TCG back like a couple years ago. I really want to get back into it pretty soon, but I haven't really played it since I was on Gamer Freak 10,001, which was a long time ago, like a year ago. I'm no longer, a year, 2 years ago, I'm no longer on Gamer Freak 10,001. So it's as by Bulb P, as other appearances are Super Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl, which Melee is the GameCube version for those of you who don't know. It is the second Brawl game. Lugia has a very awesome attack in that game, and it learns Aero Blast, which is freaking amazing because it's a Lugia move that does a lot of damage, and I think it has low accuracy, but I really don't know. And as by its trophy information, for Brawl it says a diving Pokemon. A diving Pokemon, a legendary Pokemon often regarded as guardian of the seas. It has the impressive ability to control the wind. Lugia typically spends its time quietly at the bottom of the ocean. Highly powerful in all areas, Lugia's air blast move is especially powerful. It uses the strong flapping of its wings to target damage on a weak spot. So honestly, that is kind of obvious. It has wings, so of course it can control the air. That's what I don't get. But but that's obviously pretty cool information there, because Lugia is a pretty cool Pokemon in general, and I really do like it when cool Pokemon have a thing like this, because it really makes me more interested in the Pokemon, even though I'm already interested in it and I don't play Ubers. I really should. I would love to use Lugia, as it is one of my favorite Pokemon. I think it's number 3 on my list, somewhere around there. I know it's in my top 10 for sure, because I've always loved Lugia for years and years. More than Ho-Oh, by the way. I mean, Ho-Oh's cool, but Lugia's a lot better and looks a lot cooler and far more majestic than Ho-Oh does, even though Ho-Oh looks real nice. So I'm not going to read all these Pokédex entries. I'll read like one of them, but I don't know. I'll just read. Oh my god, sorry. It's people talking in the background for a second, but I'm going to basically read what this black 2, white 2 one says, because honestly, I'm not going to read every single one. That's kind of long. It sleeps in a deep sea trench. If it flaps its wings, it is said to cause a 40-day storm. A 40-day storm? Oh my god. You don't want to piss off Lugia, because if you piss off Lugia, you're not going to have fun. You ain't going to have fun, because 40 days of storm is not something that I want to deal with. If you look at gold and silver, kind of transitioning kind of fast here, but if you look at gold and silver and crystal, and you look at Emerald, Fire Red, and Leaf Green, along with XD and Heart Gold, Soul Silver, it requires an item to get, which means you are going to need that item, or else you cannot go in and get Lugia. Which, honestly, there is, honestly, you can get it in Soul Silver, and Silver, which is I think you can get it in gold as well, because I think gold, silver, and crystal don't matter which version you have. You can get both Lugias, which is real nice. You can get Lugia in both versions. If you want to have more than one Lugia, then go ahead, because because Lugia is a pretty cool Pokemon, pretty good in Ubers from what I've heard. And there's the side games and the events. Its base stats are pretty darn good. It's got a total of 680. HP is really good, because having over base 101 HP is pretty legendary when it comes to the Pokemon community. Because it's honestly, oh my god, I can't speak anymore. But 106 HP means you can create substitutes that are very hard to break, and that means you will be pretty much hardly taking any sort of damage. 90 attack is pretty decent as well, but for Ubers, that's not really too good, because in Ubers, you have Pokemon like Mewtwo, Darkrai, all these Pokemon have superb special attacks that are banned from other tiers, except for Pokemon like Slacking, which really don't have that good of a tier, but Lugia's got some pretty good stats in attack. Defense is amazing, because having a base 130 defense is pretty darn good, because it allows you to wall out of threats, although I'm not sure if Lugia is better as a defensive wall or a special defensive wall, but Lugia is pretty darn awesome, as I said, because it gets 394 defense and 447 special defense, which is really good. 154 special defense, base 154 special defense is amazing, because Lugia is going to be walling a ton of threats, a ton of things out there. It's very good, and that means it can be a superb special wall. It could be a mixed wall if you really wanted to, and it can even run a decent special attack stat if you really wanted to. And its speed is pretty good, although in Ubers it is not it's pretty good. I'm not sure about how it is in Ubers, but 110 base speed is normally pretty good, which means it's going to be outspeeding a ton of things. Its Pokeathlon stats are amazing. It's got 4 speed, 4 power, 3 skill, 3 stamina, and 5 jump, which honestly, that's pretty good. I would guess the jump would be 5 because yeah, it can fly, duh. And its type weaknesses are it's weak to rock, ghost, electric, ice, and dark, which getting a resistant to fighting, grass, and psychic is pretty good because there are psychic types. There is psychic types in Ubers like Mewtwo, which do a lot of damage, especially Mewtwo because Mewtwo has really high attack, which Lugia with its awesome typing is going to be walling fighting, grass, and psychic type moves. Mostly fighting, but it's not going to be hurt much by rock and all those other moves due to its massive defense, unless it's coming from, and it will not even die from water spout because of that, and that amazing special defense that Lugia possesses, because Lugia is just amazing. I've said it like 10 times. I don't know why. So it learns Aeroblast. Its notable moves are Aeroblast and Sky Attack, which those in competitive, I don't know if you want to run Aeroblast. I'm pretty sure Aeroblast is a very low accurate move, meaning you don't want to run it that much because you're going to be missing a lot. And as you know in Pokemon, 50% accuracy, those of you who play competitive, is very detrimental because if you're running 50% accuracy, unless you're running no guard, you're going to be missing every single time, which in Inu, there's not that many Pokemon with no guard. If Lugia got no guard, oh my god, that wouldn't be that great, but it'd be so amazing, because Lugia would be hitting every single one of his moves, not missing one time. Now I know Lugia learns Ancient Punishment, which really isn't that great for Lugia, because one, you have to boost stat up, and most of the Pokemon that are boosting on Lugia are those ones that can actually set up on it and take hits. Probably notably, I think Giratina can set up on Lugia, if I'm correct. Giratina O, or just Giratina in general, because Giratina is pretty bulky. So if you're using Lugia, make sure that you have support for it. You can't just go into a team with Lugia, which I've seen people go. I've seen a guy make a whole team full of exploding Pokemon. Oh my god. He called himself Here Comes the Boom, and all his Pokemon were just pretty much only explosion Pokemon. It was freaking hilarious. I don't know why, but he just had it that way. So some awesome moves that Lugia can learn through HM are Psyshock and Calm Mind, Thunderbolts, Thunder, Blizzard, Ice Beam. It can learn a ton of moves that are pretty good, especially Psychic is a notable move to keep right there, because Psychic is going to be hitting a lot, because Lugia gets Stab, plus it's got 90 special attack, plus 90 base power. And if you add that to Stab and the fact it never misses, you can be doing a lot of damage. There's also Skydrop, which, if you guys don't know, Lugia is pretty darn good with Skydrop, but it is banned. I'm not talking about competitively, I'm talking about in-game. But this move Skydrop and Lugia are banned from VGC, sadly enough, unless you're doing an Ubers tournament. Honestly, I want to try one of those things where they allow Ubers, especially if it's VGC, because I love VGC. It's very competitive, very fun. It's interesting. Now look at all these TMs that it learns. Oh my god, this is a multitude of TMs. Just a multitude of TMs. Like a ton. I'm not going to worry about breeding, because honestly, breeding, you can't breed. Oh my god, now they can learn all these moves just by tutoring, and they are all pretty decent moves, but I don't know why you'd want to teach a Lugia skill swap. That's really bad, because you'd be giving your multitude, basically, sorry about that, but you'd be giving your Lugia basically a different ability. Like, I could see Slacking working with that. You could. Because of that really cool move that Lugia gets in Skill Swap, you can switch with a Slacking in doubles, and then you can give Slacking multi-scale, which will allow it to destroy the opposition. Lugia is definitely an awesome Pokemon and should always be used in many cases because of its massive move pool. It's really good base stats, really good design, just really good This Lugia is very good in everything, especially its stats and its move pool, because it's got a very vast move pool, which is what a lot of mons wish they could have. I'm not gonna worry about Pokemon Troze or any of that crap. Lugia does not get an evolution, and if you look at Lugia's shiny form, it's whiter and it's a little bit darker, and it's got kind of I don't really know. I'm kind of not very good at telling colors, but its mouth is different. Its mouth opening is different, and also the sprites are somewhat animated for Emerald, which in Emerald and Crystal, as you can see, you have slight animations, but not really animations, and then they completely got away with animations when it came to Platinum and Hard Gold, Soul Silver. I don't know why, because Lugia looks really cool with animations, because honestly, seeing those wings flap is very cool. And also, it also says Lugia is the first legendary Pokemon to appear in 3 consecutive normal episodes of the anime, with Mayaletta being the second. It is also the only legendary Pokemon to be part of the All-Stars DVD series, and also it has been the most game mascot. And apparently Lugia was known as Pokemon X, which Pokemon X is really interesting. Its origin is a legendary bird Pokemon. It has the elements of dragons and sea creatures, and apparently it's named after Ryujin. I'm not Japanese, so please correct me if you know how to pronounce that, because I'm not Japanese. That sounds really cool, because a dragon who lived on the ocean floor was the Shinto god of the sea. Sounds a really cool origin for Lugia, and it also represents they have similarities, and it also further evidence lies in its shiny colorations, which is the core of the Ryugu Jo's palace, which again I don't know Japanese. But for those who don't know Shinto, what it is it's a Japanese religion, and I think they have multiple gods, like they worship nature and stuff like that. But I know it's a religion in Japan, and it's something like that. And another thing is Lugia has the highest base special defense of all flying types. That is amazing. Also, it's got the 4th highest special defense along with Ho-Oh. That means Lugia can wall a lot of special hits, because Lugia is pretty darn good. You should pretty much get it. And I think because people refer to it, and apparently the Pokedex entries mention that being able to cause a storm might be a biblical reference. And it is the tallest psychic type Pokemon, being 17 feet 1 inches, which, yes, I remember that. And that's pretty much it for this, although I'm going to basically for a moment show you who I'm giving a shout out to. I just hope my computer's not crap, but it might take a while, so I do apologize about that, because my computer's very slow. I might basically cut it out and then show it afterwards, but it should take a couple of minutes max, so I'm not going to worry about it. He's a huge fan of Lugia as well, although Lugia is not my favorite Pokemon. It is very close to being my favorite Pokemon. For a while, actually, to be honest, until I saw Dragonite. Actually, Lugia used to be my favorite Pokemon. For a while, Lugia was my favorite Pokemon, because, I don't know, Lugia is just a really cool Pokemon. Back when I used to watch it when I was, 7, yeah, I watched, Johto, and then I watched Hoenn, and that was pretty good. I did like both of those. I don't know why. I don't know what's taking this so long. Oh my god, this computer is so freaking slow. I like hate it so much. For those of you who haven't heard a million times how much I hate my computer, it's really slow. It's really annoying, and honestly, I really don't like my computer. Now, I've been rambling about Lugia for over 30 minutes, which is kind of long. So since it's taking forever, I was going to show it, and I was going to show his channel, but because of my computer taking a long time, I'm going to end the Pokemon of the Week here. This has been insane. This has been Mega Ampharos HD, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.